massive blackouts in Portugal and Spain. Was this the cause of the blackout? Hello, this is Chart GPT today. Of course, a little bit old news now. We had that big blackout in Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, and there were some reports in Belgium. So it's kind of reverberating there on the Iberian Peninsula there. You've seen the stories. I won't go into all the different things where the people were stranded, left out in the middle of nowhere with the trains, people sleeping in train stations, in the metros, and hundreds of people were left inside of elevators, et cetera, et cetera. You've seen the reports on that. But what I want to focus now in is what could be the cause of that. That's what everybody's focusing on right now, and they haven't really come out with a definitive answer on that, so we thought we'd explore that a little bit with some charts. One of the things they were thinking of was a cyber attack. I guess they're ruling that out. Of course, I don't know if that's been ruled out definitively, but that is, I guess, the case as of this moment. There's this talk about this atmospheric vibration. I guess it can cause blackouts, but I'm not sure that this is the story. It could maybe part of it. The thing we have to do is look at what some of the Spanish photovoltaic solar panels situation is that they have, and here's kind of a recent chart here. And as you can see, and that's in the orange there up the bottom, you can see how it was nothing, and now it's up to about 26, 27% of the total grid of the Spanish infrastructure there. So it's something that's been growing, and I think this is something we just now starting to see across Europe, because more and more they're relying on these renewables, and that involves wind as well. What happens when the wind stops? What happens when the sun covers the clouds? Of course, we've seen charts on this. I used ChatGPT, the AI there, and asked him, well, what's the situation? Even under light clouds, you can lose 10-30%. Medium cloud, 30 to 70, as much as 90 if it's really heavy clouds. So these solar panels can have a sudden drop in power outage. So that's something quite interesting. So if you look at the 27%, and if you get a 40% cloud cover, you can get 11% drop in the total supply. Now, I heard reports that Spain was, when it's sunny during the middle of the day, they're exporting electricity, and then sometimes they import it from France. And so there's a lot into the grid there. And of course, there's these charts that they were showing that all of a sudden it had a sudden drop. I think it was around 12:30-ish, and it's causing these reduction in the frequency, the 50 cycle reduction, and of course that triggers all the systems to start shutting down to preserve and protect the systems. So I suspect that this is probably where the problem relies. These variable power sources, because the generator just runs all the time as long as you have gas, coal, or diesel fuel. And with these kind of power systems, when it's such a huge part, getting to be more and more a huge part of the overall grid, it's much more difficult to manage. So the upside of that is I do think eventually they'll figure it out. I know people say, solar panels are not real electricity. And other people will say, well, it's just a matter of managing it. So I do think they'll figure it out. The only problem is that we're moving into the summertime. And I think those systems to manage all that and have backup generators in case that they get reductions in power, that takes a while to put in place. So this could be an issue going forward over the next 3 to 6 months as they try to figure out what's really going on here. Anyway, check out our online poll. What do you think was the cause of this? And check out what the AI and the readout and what they said, kind of substantiating what I'm trying to say here. Now, don't forget to subscribe and check the like button on the way out.